watched the game. Only 63 people died. The loss of life could have been far greater if people were on the rush hour on the roads because the quake struck at 5:04 Pacific time. Guys?
All right, thanks so much for that. I had completely forgotten that they happened at the same time that the game was going on. All right, live coverage all day of our tropical systems.
Currently in our area, 72 degrees under fair skies. Today, plentiful sunshine. High 82. Winds north at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, generally clear. Low 66. Winds north at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Right now on Wake Up with Al, we've got a double tropical threat as we track major Hurricane Gonzalo taking aim on Bermuda. Tropical storm Ana's headed for Hawaii. We've got Carl Parker on the impacts and the timing.
Plus, after a week of storm cleanup across the southeast, we have a beautiful fall weekend on tap. Find out how long the nicer conditions will stick around right here, right now on the Power Hour of Wake Up with Al.
Live from New York and the heart of Rockefeller Center, it's Wake Up with Al Roker and Stephanie Abrams.
Good morning, everybody. Top of the morning, top of the hour, 7 a.m. on the West Coast, 10 a.m. here in the East on October 17th, 2014. Welcome back to Wake Up with Al.
It is Friday, and we watched one system from Sunday all the way now till Friday bring us tornadoes. It's now bringing moisture into the Northeast. It's going to bring cool air behind it. It's basically done a little bit of everything.
All right, let's get you started. Everything you need to know to get out the door as we bring you the top three. First of all, we've got a tropical double threat as we've been talking about all week long. We've got Gonzalo in the east, and we've got Ana in the west. The one that we're most worried about, obviously, Gonzalo, as it's a major hurricane right now. We're also looking at some wet weather lingering in northern New England and upstate New York. Watertown, 61. Buffalo, you'll see some showers in 61. Caribou, Maine, some rain in 64. And we've got the next shot of cold air coming on in, bringing very cool temperatures today into tomorrow. Minneapolis, 54. Des Moines, 60. Chicago, 50. Cleveland will see a temperature of 48 degrees.
All right, before we get to that colder there, we have to talk about the tropics and all that's happening with Gonzalo. And usually in a storm the size that we have this one, you know, one of the main concerns is flooding, but experts say Bermuda has little help fighting off surge from Mother Nature.
That's right.
One of the most unique things is the fact that we have this gigantic reef line that goes around literally the entire island, and that will knock down any of these gigantic waves that possibly would be coming in, so that actually even in the height of the worst wind, it's actually not dramatically rough around the island.
Well, folks in Bermuda have been doing everything they can to prepare for the storm. Unfortunately, they don't have any those big box stores where you can go in and get like massive amounts of supplies, so it's a lot of mom and pop shops there.
Well, and thankfully they have the roofs that also filter the water, so I'm sure that has to help them when the rain's coming in.
That's right. Well, we've got Gonzalo in the Atlantic, Ana in the Pacific, both threatening islands that have already been dealing with tropical weather just recently.
So let's go to Carl Parker and find out what is going to enhance or perhaps tear down both of these storms.
Yeah, we are seeing some dry air that's now getting into the south side of that circulation, and that will help things out a bit, and I'll show you why here in a moment. Let's get to the latest on the hurricane from the Hurricane Center. Category 4 storm, winds of 130 miles per hour, moving north-northeast at 15 miles per hour. It's taking aim on the island, maybe just to the west, maybe right over the island. Really doesn't matter that much. We're going to get significant impacts out of this storm regardless of exactly where air it goes. And I want to show you the larger picture here. This is looking at the dry air that's coming in behind this system. This is the same big upper system that caused all the stormy weather in the east and southeast this week. So some of that dry air is now getting involved in the circulation, and the hurricane hunters have been out in the storm. They've been finding very strong winds over 100 miles per hour at flight level. But then when we look at the southeast side of that circulation, you'll see that there's an absence of thunderstorms right in here, due in part to that dry air that is cycling in. What that means is you're getting very strong winds up to about 1 to 2 to 3,000 feet, but that strong wind is not necessarily being transferred as efficiently down to the surface. So as they scan the surface of the ocean, what they're finding is minimal hurricane force wind on that southeast side. So that's in part how dry air can help to reduce that strong wind. But where we are getting those big thunderstorms, we are seeing incredibly strong wind, and this is going to be a very serious hit there in Bermuda. Jen, over to you.
All right, Carl, thank you for that analysis. Now, let's look at what's going on with the rain that we have been tracking in the Northeast, what feels like days now. Boston, some clearing out there this morning. Your rain has been over for hours. It has finished overnight. We take a look at the radar here, and I will tell you that the rain is exiting Maine, is exiting the Northeast from that big system we were tracking. But we've got a couple of showers hanging back out here, right across coming into western New York, and there's going to be more where that came from over the weekend. The hit or miss kind of activity we're expecting through the weekend here. So Bangor, Maine, that's heading on out. Sunshine coming out by Friday afternoon. Temperatures mid to upper 50s. Cooler today than yesterday, but not as cool as it's going to be by the time we get to Sunday. Then you see this coming in. This is Saturday's forecast, and Saturday afternoon, a speckly look out here where we, to our radar and satellite, we'll see some clouds, we'll see some rain showers, all because of this first upper level low and then a second one coming on in. It really is just an elongated area of low pressure that's going to affect us right through the weekend right here. Alan, Steph, over to you.
Let's catch up to speed on the weather stories making headlines this morning. A warning for those living along Hawaii's coasts.
And we just want to make sure that if they're in a low-lying area that they have time to seek shelter or get out of the area and go to higher ground.
Officials spent Thursday handing out notices about impending Tropical Storm Anna for those living in the low-lying shoreline communities of Puno, where the surf could reach as high as 25 to 40 feet.
It's funny you say that because I was looking this morning just doing research on the system. I was like, oh, I bet the surfers are so excited for this system.
Yeah, the rest of us would be running away.
That's true. There are many closures. Hawaii's Volcano National Park is closed, just one of the steps taken to prepare for Anna's impacts.
And remembering California's Loma Prieta earthquake a quarter century ago today. 25 years since that devastating quake shook the Bay Area, and this just one of the dramatic effects. Look at that. Oh my gosh. I remember that video.
It's
so
terrible.
Frightening.
And
this car suddenly drove into a collapsed part of the Oakland Bay Bridge.
Didn't even know it was collapsed. In all, 63 people were killed, thousands were hurt. 6.9 magnitude quake caused billions of dollars in damage and also shook as the A's and the Giants were in the World Series. They were in Game 3 of the World Series. The earthquake helped shape the state's disaster plan for future events.
Well, hopefully we don't see anything like that for a long time to come. Let's head to Jen Carfagno. She's in Atlanta with our day ahead.
It's a chilly start to your day in places like Atlanta and really across the Southeast. A cool start, but a warm finish. Hard kind of day to dress for because you needed maybe the fleece jacket this morning, but look how quickly temperatures are warming up. Already in the 60s and 70s all across the area. The afternoon will feature temperatures in the upper 70s in Memphis and Jackson, and then this evening cooling back down again pretty quickly. So Friday night plans, be ready for this. You'll have temperatures 11 o'clock tonight in Jacksonville in the mid 60s. Let's take a look at Memphis because this is going to be one of the warmer spots across the South. We get temperatures up to 78 degrees at 4 o'clock. A beautiful evening, clear skies. Temperatures drop into the low 70s at 8 o'clock, but we are down into the mid 60s as you get towards 11 at 12 o'clock. Midwest, we've got a few showers out there possible today again across northern Wisconsin, northern lower Michigan. Otherwise, temperatures will be on the cooler side, only in the 50s. Back to you guys.
Jen, thanks so much. Well, the strongest storm out of the Atlantic in years today, Gonzalo's set to take aim on Bermuda.
Ahead on Wake Up with Al, we head to the popular vacation spot. Dylan Dreyer joins us as she is ahead of the storm.
You get used to pet odors in your car. You think it smells fine, but your passengers smell this. Eliminate odors you've gone nose blind to for up to 30 days with the Febreze Car Vent Clip.
Wow, it smells good in here.
So you and your passengers can breathe happy.
When he first joined the Army, I was very nervous.
We didn't know what they would have him doing. But Bobby always had a plan.
With unmatched training in over 150 careers beyond the battlefield, there are over 150 surprising ways to become Army strong. Talk to your son or daughter about opportunities in the Army.
What makes Thermacare different? 2 words. It heals. How? With heat. Unlike creams and rubs that mask the pain, Thermacare has patented heat cells that penetrate deep to increase circulation and accelerate healing. Let's review. Heat plus relief plus healing equals Thermacare. The proof that it heals is you.
It's just freaking me out.
If you missed this Sunday night on the Weather Channel,
this is crazy.
You'll never know how twisted weather can be.
Is it real? Yeah, it's real.
Wicked Weather Sundays with strangest weather on Earth and American Supernatural. Every Sunday night at 9, only on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 72 degrees under fair skies. Today, plentiful sunshine. High 82. Winds north at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, generally clear. Low 66. Winds north at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Every Sunday, a new tale of weather legend. American Supernatural, Sunday nights at 10 on the Weather Channel.
When we say the all-new Chrysler 200 is all new, we mean it. We used the latest tools and built a new state-of-the-art manufacturing plant. We gave it new smart technology. We challenged conventional thinking with a more intuitive design. And we set new expectations of what an American sedan can be. The all-new Chrysler 200, America's import.
Andrew, Rita, Sandy. Meet Chris, Jackie, Joe. Minor damage or major disaster. When you need us most, we're there. State Farm. We're a force of nature, too.
Don't let a severe cold hold you back.
Sir?
Theraflu starts to get to work in your body in just 5 minutes. Theraflu breaks you free from your worst cold and flu symptoms. Theraflu, serious power.
11 minutes past the hour. Welcome back to Wake Up with Al. Southeast starting off awfully nice this morning.
It is. Our temperatures are on the cool side, maybe even a jacket for some of you in the south. I know that in the north you'll laugh about that, but in the south, when you're not used to those temperatures, highs today in the 70s and 80s, actually quite comfortable.
And then you look tomorrow, we're expecting those temperatures getting up into the low 70s in Atlanta, mid 80s along the Gulf Coast. Texas A&M at Alabama.
Alabama is still reeling, I think, from their big upset over Ole Miss. That was quite a shutdown there. Texas A&M, can they repeat what Ole Miss did? We're going to find out Saturday. Sun and clouds, a beautiful day for college football.
At the stadium named after the actor Brian Dennehy. No, it's Bryant Denny Stadium. You know why elephants hate it there?
Why, Al?
Well, because of the Tuscaloosa. Okay, so that's what's happening out in the southeast. But out at sea, big story, Hurricane Gonzalo.
That it is. So we want to check in with Dylan Dreyer from NBC. She is live on Bermuda this morning.
Right now, I'm standing on the western side of Bermuda, which means Hurricane Gonzalo is expected to pass about 20 to 50 miles just to our west. That's the eye of the storm, but hurricane force winds now extend 60 miles out from the center of the storm. So no doubt Bermuda is going to get slammed. But there are a couple of reasons why Bermuda tends to fare okay during these types of events. We've got a huge natural reef that surrounds the island, as opposed to the massive storm surge you see in, say, the Gulf Coast. We are looking for that to protect us from that huge hurricane storm surge that you tend to see. We will still see some flooding, but right along the immediate coastline. The other advantage to this island is that most of it is fairly elevated, meaning that while the flooding will be isolated to the immediate coastline, inland areas tend not to flood. However, there is some concern about the causeway that connects this island to the island where the airport is located. In 2003, during a Category 3 Hurricane Fabian, that causeway was washed away. A temporary one replaced it, but that's the one that's still in place. So if this storm is anything like Fabian, which it could be because the track is very similar, we could see some issues, especially with the airport. But other than that, residents say they're bracing for it, they're ready for it, they're just going to hunker down today and pray. But the buildings are built up to a hurricane code, and they think that they are going to fare okay. So it's actually a very positive atmosphere here as they just kind of brace themselves for this afternoon. Tropical storm conditions expected as we continue through the morning. Hurricane storm conditions expected this afternoon, with the brunt of the storm hitting us later on this evening. I'm Dylan Dreyer for the Weather Channel in Southampton Parish, Bermuda.
Well, let's head now to Jen Carfagno, who is always a delight in the morning.
All right, guys. Well, good morning. And you know the whole saying, the old saying, a rainbow in the morning, take warning. Same thing goes here, again, because of what's in the sky. Let's look at what's going to be in your sky over the weekend. Today, kick off your weekend early. It's a Friday. You got showers still left in Maine, a couple of showers in the Midwest, some cooler air moving in. College football games, get ready for a couple of sprinkles, the clouds, the cooler weather, especially in the Midwest. And then on Sunday, that moves into the Northeast. I know the Bills are home. We've got temperatures maybe not even getting out of the 40s, and a few sprinkles not out of the question. Then we fast forward to next week and keep an eye on that little system. That by Tuesday and Wednesday heads off the coast, makes for a nasty couple of days in the Northeast. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks so much. Well, after Faye delivered a blow to Bermuda, the island bracing for another hit.
We just mentioned that, and it's not only Bermuda, but also Hawaii. We're going to talk about Anna after your local on the 8th.
Service to aisle 3, please. Service to aisle 3.
Children, I am your father.
We all have a Disney side. And the best place to show it is Disney Parks. So come to the place where the entire family can laugh, let loose, and play together. Disney Parks. Come on, it's time to show your Disney side.
Rich, chewy caramel, rolled up in smooth milk chocolate.
All aboard.
Rolo, get your smooth on.
When I crave a smoke, that's all I crave. That's where this comes in.
Only Nicorette Gum has patented dual-coated technology for great taste. Plus, Nicorette Gum gives you intense craving relief.
And that helps put my craving in its place. That's why I only choose Nicorette.
They call it a minivan, but there's nothing mini about it. Say goodbye to the two-seater and hello to parenthood.
Allstate can help you save an average of $3,000 on a new car. Let an Allstate agent surprise you by helping you get a deal on the car you might not want, but really need. Plus, call now and get 2 safe driving bonus checks a year for driving safe.
Just a few more ways the good hands are doing more than ever before.
Call 866-538-7521 now.
Need new tires? Right now at Pep Boys, when you buy 3 select tires, you get the 4th tire free, instantly. Plus, get 6 months special financing on purchases of $199 or more. Trust the boys to get you there.
Okay, Patrick, one more stop. Let's go base, shark, blitz. Base, shark, blitz.
when the game's on the line.
Okay, this is for the game.
The NFL trusts Duracell Quantum to power their game day communication.
Abort, he's keeping it.
Duracell Quantum lasts up to 35% longer than the competition.
Get luxury for less at Alpacker Lincoln. Enjoy incredible savings on Lincoln's best-selling models, like the new 2015 Lincoln MKZ, just $299 a month, or a 2014 Lincoln MKS, just $379 a month. Enjoy luxury for less with bottom-line windshield pricing. Only at Alpacker Lincoln on Military Trail. And remember,
before you buy, Price Packer.
One car travels towards an intersection with wipers that streak and clog, while another travels towards the same intersection with wiper blades that don't let them see clearly. But between them, the Michelin Man with Michelin Stealth Wiper Blades, a revolution in wiper blade technology, combining SmartFlex construction for superior windshield contact with proven hybrid blade design for clog-free performance in rain, ice, and snow, helping you steer clear for the road ahead. Michelin Stealth Wiper Blades, a better way forward.
Call Humana now at 1-866-680-4971.
Every Sunday, a new tale of weather legend. American Supernatural, Sunday nights at 10 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 72 degrees under fair skies. Today, plentiful sunshine. High 82. Winds north at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, generally clear. Low 66. Winds north at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Minutes past the hour. I want to get right to Carl Parker.
Let's talk about Ana now, approaching Hawaii, and it's going to affect several islands, but good for the surfers, not so good for other people. What other effects do you think they're going to feel?
Well, certainly that's going to be one of them. We'll see higher swells. We'll see increased rain. There will be some gusty wind, but right now it's looking like most of that storm, the business end of that storm, will remain offshore. And so we probably won't get a tremendous impact from the storm. At least that's how it looks right now. I want to show you the latest on Gonzalo as of the 8 a.m. advisory from the National Hurricane Center. Category 4 storm, 130 mile per hour wind. It's moving north-northeast at 15 miles per hour. When you have a storm that strong for such a long period of time, what it does is it generates very large waves, and so that is set at this point. We've got this area of 20-plus foot waves coming towards Bermuda. We're going to get that no matter what happens with the storm. And here's a look at Bermuda. Now, we've been comparing this storm to Fabian, which hit in 2003, and I want to show you what that storm did. We'll drop down to the south here, south side of the island. Similarly, Fabian came up, and along the west side, the eye was to the west of the island, and so we got this very strong southerly flow and tremendous waves on the south side of the island, 20 to 30 foot wave heights that caused significant damage. That will be a threat again with this storm. Much farther to the north and to the east, we take a look at where the airport is. There's an inlet here, and as a result, we could be talking about water level rise there around the airport. Al, Steph, back to you.
Carl, thank you so much. Well, the best-selling author, Nicholas Sparks, loves weather. You'll find a lot of weather scenes in his best-selling books and movies.
Yeah, and just yesterday he came by the studio, so I talked about his new movie that's based on his best-selling book, The Best of Me, which opens in theaters today.
right, Nick, first let's talk about Best of Me and the storyline for people that haven't read the book.
The storyline, it is a story, but that explores the question of what if, right?
Yeah.
Second chances. You got this couple, they fall in love when they're young. It doesn't quite work out. 20 years later, they're reunited at the funeral of an old friend, and they kind of have the chance to see whether they would make the same decision or whether maybe it could work out a second time. But now they've got a lot more life behind them, so it's not quite as simple as it was back then.
Do you have any big what ifs? I mean, we all ask what ifs, right?
Yeah, everyone does, and I wrote this because that was really what happened. I was in my 40s, and I said to myself, you just question, what if I wouldn't have answered the call that day, or what if I'd gone to a different college, or what if all of these things, what if I'd married someone else even, right? You just have these questions. You'll never know the answers, but I wanted to write a book that explored that.
Now, in your books, you talk a lot about weather. So is there weather in this book and movie?
I was very proud that we do have a wonderful kissing in the rain scene. I know that, right? What do you expect?
Who doesn't love kissing in the rain scenes? I've never done it, though. I should try. Have you actually ever kissed in the rain? Done one of those?
I have. And you know what? A couple of years ago, there was this guy who had this magic trick, and he kind of had the look of Ryan Gosling. He said, hey, if I could make it rain here, would you kiss me? And the girls would say, sure. All of a sudden, it would start raining over his head, and he got all these, because it was a really cute video. But, it's just part of life in the South. The rain doesn't stop you, because it rains all the time.
But do you have any weird little things that you have to have, like jelly beans on your desk, to inspire you, or any weird habits when you write?
I do. I have to have the TV on. I have to have, some people
on the Weather Channel?
I do. I watch you every single morning. She's my good friend.
I pay him a lot to say that.
I have to have the TV on. And I usually put on shows that I've seen before, just like DVDs of old shows. And I run through Seinfeld or House, and I just start, I start a book,
You binge watch?
I binge watch. Well, I don't. I just binge kind of listen in the background. And so if I'm writing, if I'm about to start, I'll start a new show, maybe season 1 of 9, of whatever it is. And if I'm having a bad day, I'll just rewind 3 episodes and start over. And it's like, okay, we're starting over today.
Wow, all right. And your good friend. Very nice. Well, for our good friends, we've got your weather coming up after your local on the 8th.
Let's do a reality check. Kids will be kids. Dogs will be dogs. So let's get some paint that's more than just paint. Made to stand up to this and look beautiful for years. Let's lose the old marks and messes and stop new ones in their tracks. Let's worry-proof our walls. Let's do this. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
Behr Premium Plus with Easy Clean Finish starting at $25.97 a gallon.
Want to know how hard it can be to breathe with COPD? It can feel like this. COPD includes chronic bronchitis and emphysema. Spiriva is a once-daily inhaled COPD maintenance treatment that helps open my airways for a full 24 hours. Spiriva helps me breathe easier.
Spiriva HandiHaler tiotropium bromide inhalation powder does not replace rescue inhalers for sudden symptoms. Tell your doctor if you have kidney problems, glaucoma, trouble urinating, or an enlarged prostate. These may worsen with Spiriva. Discuss all medicines you take, even eye drops. Stop taking Spiriva and seek immediate medical help if your breathing suddenly worsens, your throat or tongue swells, you get hives, vision changes or eye pain, or problems passing urine. Other side effects include dry mouth and constipation.
Nothing can reverse COPD. Spiriva helps me breathe better.
Does breathing with COPD weigh you down? Don't wait to ask your doctor about Spiriva HandiHaler.
In the nation, the safest feature in your car is you. Add Vanishing Deductible from Nationwide Insurance and get $100 off for every year of safe driving, which for you shouldn't be a problem. Just another way we put members first, because we don't have shareholders. Join the nation.
Nationwide is on your side.
Thought it'd be bigger.
There's nothing I can't reach in my Subaru.
Introducing the all-new Subaru Outback. Love, it's what makes a Subaru.
A Subaru. Great. This is the last thing I need.
Seriously? The last thing you need is some guy giving you a new catalytic converter when all you got is a loose gas cap. Let's take this puppy over to Midas and get you some of that good old Midas touch. Dude, you know what? I'll drive. I really didn't think this through.
Get the Midas Touch maintenance package, including an oil change for only $24.99. And here's the deal. Use your Midas credit card and get a rebate of $25. Oil, tires, brakes, everything. Trust the Midas Touch.
7 a.m. on AMHQ.
Let's get you in front of today's weather.
The biggest weather hour anywhere.
What a gorgeous start.
Weekday mornings on the Weather Channel.
Every Sunday, a new tale of weather legend. American Supernatural. Sunday nights at 10 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 72 degrees under fair skies. Today, plentiful sunshine. High 82. Winds north at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, generally clear. Low 66. Winds north at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Every Sunday, a new tale of weather legend. American Supernatural. Sunday nights at 10 on the Weather Channel.
You can't just brush it off and then it comes here and then, you're unprepared.
If they're in a low-lying area, seek shelter or get out of the area and go to higher ground.
From New York and the heart of Rockefeller Center, it's Wake Up with Al Roker and Stephanie Abrams.
Good morning, everybody. As the Power Hour rolls on, it's Friday, October 17th, 2014, 30 past the hour. Welcome to Wake Up with Al.
We are live in New York. We want to get right to your top 3 weather stories so we can get live to places like Bermuda.
That's right. Everything you need to know as you start your weekend off. As we've been mentioning, tropical double threat. We've got Ana in the west threatening Hawaii, but the big story and everybody's watching is Gonzalo, a major Category 3 storm bearing down on Bermuda. We've also got some rainy leftovers, and cold, wet leftovers are not what anybody wants. But Buffalo 61, Watertown 61 and showers. Bar Harbor looking at 62 and some showers this morning. And we've got some chilly air getting ready to make its way in for today and tomorrow. Des Moines 60, Chicago 58. As we move into tomorrow, it's only going to be 50 for a high in Chicago. Cleveland 48. Cincinnati looking at a temperature of 54.
I would say there's not many things that you like cold and wet. Only a drink maybe on a hot summer day. And that's about it.
All right, let's get right down to Hurricane Gonzalo bearing down on Bermuda. Residents staying behind are trying to do everything they can do to get ready.
Of course, electricity is going to go out. As long as everyone stays inside, hopefully we don't have any fatalities. They listen to the EMU. Just don't come out your house. That simple.
Have your water, have your family, friends, and be prepared.
Okay, Gonzalo, a Category 4, but expected to maybe drop down a bit to Category 3 as it hits Bermuda. That's not going to make that much of a difference.
No, and officials are warning people in low-lying areas to evacuate. Public schools are closed. The government shut down. Everything is shut down, and we have live team coverage.
That's right. We've got hurricane specialist Carl Parker in the lab. He's going to be breaking everything down. So we're going to start with Carl. Carl, so let's talk about the size of Gonzalo. What are we talking about?
Well, you know, we've been talking about a smallish storm over the last couple of days. It started out very small, in the order of a third to a quarter of the size of the average hurricane in terms of the area of strongest winds. It has since, though, been expanding, and now it's getting closer to the size of a regular hurricane, an average hurricane. And now, in fact, the wind field is going to get even wider because we're starting to see this transition from a tropical system to a non-tropical system. And generally, when that happens, you get a much larger area of stronger winds. That's only starting, and it takes a long time, but already we're starting to see the winds really expand out to the north and to the east. So the winds now 130 miles per hour on the high end. The storm is moving north-northeast at 15 miles per hour. Here's the forecast track and intensities from the Hurricane Center. Still bringing the center line a little to the left of Bermuda, but this track indicates a whole array of possibilities, including something right over Bermuda, maybe a little to the east. Really almost doesn't matter. It certainly matters in terms of where we get the worst surge impacts and wave action, but in terms of wind, there's no way we're going to get out of seeing a significant windstorm there in Bermuda. And hurricane hunters have been out there flying the storm. They have found a number of areas where winds have exceeded 100 miles per hour at flight level. What's very interesting is that we've been watching the presence of this dry air coming in from the south and from the west. This is the big system that affected much of the eastern part of the U.S. over a few days. And dry air is getting into the south side of that circulation. You can really see that on the radar picture here. So we've got an area of weather, very heavy rain, very gusty wind. When the hurricane hunters flew down across the center and down into the southeast side in the area where there's less convection or thunderstorms, they found exceptionally strong flight level winds of 120, 130 miles per hour, but the winds at the surface only estimated to be around minimal hurricane force. So the upshot is that you need these storms to transfer those stronger winds down to the surface, and with drier air getting involved in the south side, that may help things a little bit, but this is still going to be an incredibly intense storm. Here's the modeled area of strong winds starting to move in now, and then continuing to come up and through Bermuda. Through this afternoon, late afternoon, it's really going, and that'll continue for most of the evening. We'll have much more on that coming up. I'll step back to you.
Carl, thank you so much. And as we look, we've got a couple of shots from Bermuda right now. As you check it out, it's beautiful right now, but things are going to be changing very, very quickly.
That they will. And as we mentioned, Bermuda is preparing for the direct hit, obviously the largest Atlantic hurricane in 3 years. So let's go now to Bermuda.
That's right. We've got hurricane chaser Mark Sudduth. He's in Bermuda ahead of this collision course. Mark, good morning. And as you get ready for this, what changes are you seeing going on there right now?
Not as many people as yesterday. Everybody has either left or hunkered down that was planning to leave. They're gone. Weather conditions, we have that beautiful cirrus outflow coming in. Winds are starting to increase at the surface. Clouds are starting to thicken up. No rain as of yet, but we know, as you just mentioned, in the next 10 to 12 hours, it's going to get really wild here.
Okay, so Mark, how are preparations there different than they are in the States? Because it's so much, more remote than us in the lower 48.
That is correct. That's what residents and shop and business owners told me. Have to have supplies here that supply at any given time. There's things to prepare with, and everything has to be brought in. And when it's used up, as a lot of stuff was right before and then after Feg, just a week ago now, imagine that, just a week ago, these folks have had a little bit less time and supplies to prepare with, making it a little bit more burdensome this time around.
And Mark, of course, we all get ready for the storm, but it's the aftermath, of course. What are you and your team done? What are you doing for the aftermath when power most likely will be out, food and water will be in scarce supply? What's your plan?
Well, the whole idea, of course, is to be safe and to be prepared. And you're right, Al, the aftermath can be exceptionally dangerous if you're not prepared. You need water. I think that's the most important element, and we have plenty of that. And then just not doing anything out of common sense. You don't want to do anything that's going to get you hurt in the aftermath. You may be very tired. This is a very high anxiety event, and so just using good old common sense, relying on those supplies for several days as needed, and hopefully everything, it's going to be a slow process, but everything will start getting back to the way it was before this event unfolds later today.
All right, Mark Sutter, thank you so much. And we'll be checking with you, obviously, all morning long. And, of course, you and your team stay safe.
And we take a look at the other top weather story, which is this rain finally leaving the Northeast after a couple of days of deluge. Portland, Maine, brightening skies. Looks a little bit better out there this morning. Let's take a look at what's going on here. You know, this whole system we were tracking actually does have a tropical connection of moisture to it, but it's on its way out and lifting out of Maine as we speak. Presque Isle, a little more rain left for you, but Bangor, we're done. Portland, we're definitely done. And Boston, yay, we're finally getting the sun back out again. We still are left with the upper level feature of this. So there'll be some leftovers, as we're going to call it here, through the Northeast over the weekend. And it's the next thing behind it, just a big elongated area of low pressure that's going to help spin in a couple of showers and also some cooler air as we get through the weekend. Look at our Saturday temperatures in Watertown and Erie, Pennsylvania. We're in the 40s, and we've got a few rain showers out there right through the afternoon. Here's a look from a water vapor perspective, what we're dealing with. You can see the big gyration up here. That's what's going to bring us these showers right through the weekend, through the Midwest, through parts of the Northeast. We'll see that starting tonight and continuing through the day on Saturday, on Sunday, scooting in through the Northeast with cooler temperatures as well. Alan, Steph, back to you.
Well, down trees, something we can talk about here on the Weather Channel. But would you know the safest way to clean up if you have a tree fall at your home?
Oh, boy. We've got chainsaws and an arborist in the studio after your local on the 8th.
Yikes. Don't try this at home.
This could get messy.
Currently in our area, 74 degrees under fair skies. Today, plentiful sunshine. High 82. Winds north at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, generally clear. Low 66. Winds north at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
When I had my first migraine, I was lucky. That sounds crazy, I know, but my mom got migraines, so she knew this would help. Excedrin migraine starts to relieve my pain in 30 minutes, plus sensitivity to light, sound, even nausea. Excedrin migraine works.
Lowe's presents how to install a new washing machine with one finger.
Maybe a little more that way.
Nice.
Now get 10% off all major appliances, $3.99 and above.
I mean, for the year. Hi, sorry, just want to say, I bundled home and auto with State Farm, saved $760. Love this guy. So sorry.
Okay, does it bother anybody else that the mime is talking? Freaky!
Savings worth talking about. State Farm.
Here at High Acres, we always say life is better on the farm. And that's because we love what we do, which is growing the best tasting fruit available. After months of nurturing, our orchards are bursting with crispy, delicious apples. And we can't wait for you to taste them. That's why we work with Walmart. They help us deliver some of the freshest apples available, backed by their 100% money-back guarantee.
Picked by farmers, guaranteed by us.
Get up to 20% off and 1,000 rewards points at bestwestern.com with a swipe, a tap, or a click. Get up to 20% off and enjoy breakfast, free high-speed internet, and 1,000 rewards points. Only at bestwestern.com.
Man, these boneless chicken wings are great.
Yeah, I know, and I finally found myself a wingman.
You're going to use the wing as your wingman?
Yeah, for the ladies.
How is that going to help you at all?
It's going to make me irresistible.
Oh, right. Yeah, going to give you that certain je ne sais quoi.
Je ne sais what?
Jenna.
Did she mention me by name, or was it just kind of like, was she just talking in general?
I said je ne sais quoi.
I know, but what did she say?
Be a wingman with new all-white meat boneless chicken wings in 3 flavors and save room for creamy cheesecake bites. This is how you Sonic.
All right, we got one shot. Let's go twins right, 24 stretch.
24 stretch, all diamond. Twins right, 24 stretch. All diamonds on 2 ready.
When the game's on the line.
Hit him with a hard count. See if they'll tip their hand.
The NFL trusts Duracell Quantum to power their game day communication.
They're blitzing up the gut. Get out of the pocket.
Duracell Quantum lasts up to 35% longer than the competition.
When we say the all-new Chrysler 200 is all new, we mean it. We used the latest tools and built a new state-of-the-art manufacturing plant. We gave it new smart technology. We challenged conventional thinking with a more intuitive design. And we set new expectations of what an American sedan can be. The all-new Chrysler 200, America's import.
Coming up on 43 minutes past the hour. Welcome back. And we've got another round of cool air on the way.
That we do, and we will see our temperatures dropping with this next cold shot into the 40s and also into the 50s. Look at that. Fargo, 49 degrees. That's our high today.
There you go. Tomorrow, look at the cool air coming on in. 39 in Marquette. Chicago, a high of 50. That's 12 degrees below average. Buffalo is going to be 50 as well.
And here's a look at some college football for you. We have Purdue visiting the Gophers, and it's going to be chilly, 46, but at least you have the sunshine, so it'll feel even warmer than that.
You got to like a mascot, the Gopher. I like that. Yeah. Anyway, okay, so in the aftermath of this week's severe weather, there are now countless damaged trees that need to be dealt with all across the country. But what can you do when it's time to call in a professional? What can you do yourself?
Well, we want to help you with some of those questions. So this morning, Mark Chisholm is a certified arborist and an expert in tree care.
That's right. And so first of all, Mark, people think, oh, you know what? I've got trees down. I'm going to go to my local big box. I'm going to get me a chainsaw and go to work. And that is not the thing to do.
Probably not, no. You actually need to look at a few things first. One is you're obviously suited up, looking like you should belong out there doing what we're doing.
That's like we should belong. We don't at all, yes.
Tell us about the protective gear.
PPE, as we call it. PPE is protective equipment, and that's obviously in the news quite a bit right now with Ebola going on. You hear it all the time, but it's the same thing for us, and it means that we have to suit up professionally to do what we're doing. Starts with headgear that you're wearing, face shield, eyeglasses, protective eyewear, hearing protection, and then we go down the whole body.
Why
you see
nothing
gloves.
on top, by the way?
You know what? We don't have a lot of risk of injury up here. All of our stats tell us that most of our injuries are basically waist down or falling from above. That's why we wear the headgear.
Okay. Yeah. And in the news recently, Greg Norman, the golfer, was, and he's a guy who is used to working with chainsaws and still had a massive accident with his hand.
That's true. And actually, that's why we wear it. I'm a pro. I've been doing it since I'm a kid. Third generation arborist. I wear this gear every single day.
So how do you know when to do it yourself and when to call in an arborist?
It's a great question. I always look to a few things. One is don't be scared to do things on your own. If you feel comfortable doing, as long as you understand a few basic things about safety and operation, follow your instruction manual, for example. But once you get into certain areas, like where it involves electrical conductors around power lines, you don't want to be involved in that. Working at height, when you have to leave the ground, call me. Call an arborist, for real.
And so what's the best way to find a good arborist? I mean, there are guys, especially after disaster, they're coming through the neighborhood. There's, I'll take that down for you. Give you a special deal.
You're right. You picked up good on that. I say two things. Protect yourself first by asking for a good certificate of insurance. So if anything does happen, God forbid, you're protected. But if you're looking for a pro, I would say look for a certified arborist, which is called the ISA Certified Arborist, or in New Jersey, it's called a New Jersey Certified Tree Expert, or you can go beyond that and say Board Certified Master Arborist. Look for a credential.
You have some tips on how to run a chainsaw?
I do.
That looks like a really little chainsaw to be all dressed up like this, but I guess it doesn't take much.
No, it doesn't. And actually, don't let the size fool you. It's quite powerful, believe it or not. This is one that's made to run on battery power, which means it's very easy to start. It's very lightweight, very, very powerful, and it has no emissions and almost no noise. No fuel.
No noise?
Exactly.
Can you start that
I
thing?
sure can. So when we operate a chainsaw, especially one like this, we're suited up properly, everything. We have to wear gloves and eyeglasses and all that. But what we're going to do is, number one, deactivate the chain brake. That activation causes the chain to stop. So if it comes to me, it protects me one more measure. Number one is two hands wrapped, thumbs wrapped, and then all we got to do basically is start it by squeezing the trigger.
That is a really quiet chainsaw.
That's very cool.
Pretty quiet,
It sounds like a dustbuster almost.
That's right. That'll do more than dust your bust. All right, Mark, thank you so much. We appreciate it. And make sure the bad weather's out of the area before you go out trying to get things started.
Exactly.
All right. Well, for more information about caring about your trees, check out treesaregood.org.
All right, we now want to toss it over to Atlanta with Jen for our 7-day forecast.
And we'll take you through the next 7 days. This weekend, you might be raking some of those leaves from all those trees in the Midwest after all the rain we had that brought down them in the Northeast. Now, today looks warmer, 71 degrees, than it's going to be over the weekend. Take a look at the changes coming. Tomorrow, we've got temperatures only for highs in the low 50s through the Midwest. That's the weather that's heading your way into the Northeast. Couple of showers possible and cooler weather. Then we look at Monday. And Monday, we're going to be watching for this system from the Ohio Valley track over to the Northeast by Tuesday and by Wednesday. What a mess here in the Northeast. Back to you.
Jen, thanks so much. Just ahead, tropical trouble for 2 paradise getaways.
Gonzalo's on track to hit Bermuda. Hawaii is going to feel the impacts from Ana. We have the story on these 2 storms after your local on the 8s.
Your adventurous side is waiting. Your relaxing side is calling. Your Let's Do It All side has arrived. And an unforgettable Disney vacation is all within your reach. And right now, you can create a 7-day package, including a select Walt Disney World Resort hotel room and theme park tickets for as little as $78 per person per day for a family of 4. So come on, show your Disney side this year at the place where dreams come true.
Sunday nights. When the wind blows. The Weather Channel unravels nature's darkest secrets.
I saw something. I don't know how to explain it.
Every Sunday.
It's a story that's got a life of its own.
A new tale of weather legend.
It may have just looked like a storm, but they were dealing with something far worse.
American Supernatural. Sunday nights at 10 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 74 degrees under fair skies. Today, plentiful sunshine. High 82. Winds north at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, generally clear. Low 66. Winds north at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
We put all the apps you love inside a car designed to connect you to a world of possibilities. The Connected Car by Volvo. Innovating for you.
Need new tires? Right now at Pep Boys, when you buy 3 select tires, you get the 4th tire free instantly. Plus, get up to $80 off select Cooper and Hankook tires. Trust the boys to get you there.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
You're covered, Kevin.
Blah, blah, insurance. Person, come help.
Hey, Grandma. 6 callers ahead of us, Jimmy.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. There to help you get to a better state.
Making coffee?
Yeah, enough for 2. Try 4, buddy.
I'll take a dark roast.
Chai tea, please.
Honey, text the man what you want.
The getaway vehicle.
For all the confidence you need. TD Ameritrade. You got this.
Hey, what's up? How's it going? What are you doing? I can't believe you're watching this without me. We agreed we'd catch up on everything tonight. If I did this to you, you'd murder me in my sleep. You know what? Just watch it by yourself. I can't not know when I know that you know.
The latest episodes of the Top 100 shows are preloaded and ready to watch with Xfinity On Demand. Xfinity, the future of awesome.
Trade commissions. Looking for a new breed of broker? There's a name for people like you. Trade King. Switch today.
If you miss this Sunday night on the Weather Channel, you'll never know how twisted weather can be. Wicked Weather Sundays, every Sunday night at 9 on the Weather Channel.
Just about 53 minutes past the hour. Welcome back to Wake Up with Al. Coming up on the program, after you have hopefully a great weekend, we've got the great actor LeVar Burton joining us. He's written a great kids book. It's called The Rhino Who Swallowed the Storm. And of course, we'll have the latest on Ana and all the aftermath from Gonzalo. But right now, let's head to the lab for the tropical update as we wait for Gonzalo to make landfall. Carl.
Al, it'd be nice if we had a rhino to swallow this storm. It's going to be very bad indeed. And in fact, we've been comparing it to Fabian in 2003. That was really the storm of record in Bermuda. It caused $300 million in damage, and this may have a similar impact. Now, we're talking about a Category 4 storm right now, moving towards the north-northeast at 15 miles per hour. Now a matter of hours from the worst part of the storm coming into Bermuda, possibly as a Category 3. There is the forecast track. It may move just to the west of Bermuda. It's also possible that it comes right over top of the island, and we're getting a good look at the storm now in the visible satellite imagery. And what we are seeing is a little bit of dry air intruding on the south side of that circulation, but the core, for the most part, is intact, and we're talking about very strong winds near that center, and that center is going to come right across Bermuda. We're getting a good look at the storm now on the radar picture, and there is the eye wall of the storm. So that's the very most dangerous part of the storm, and that's now inside of 200 miles from Bermuda, which is right there. All of this weather moving in through this afternoon, and so tropical storm force winds will move in short order and then continue into the afternoon. And this is a look at the modeled winds here. So 2 p.m. winds really start picking up there in Bermuda. By the time we get into 7 p.m., we're in the thick of this. We're talking about hurricane force wind and winds perhaps gusting over 100 miles per hour. And then even into late tonight, that wind going, finally starting to relent by late tonight. And by the way, we got a brand new advisory on the storm, and it is now down to a Category 3 storm, according to the Hurricane Center, 125 mile per hour winds, and it's now moving north-northeast at 16 miles per hour. Jen, over to you.
All right, Carl, thank you for that update. Now, let's go back and take a look at the forecast for the day ahead today and look ahead to the weekend. In the southeast, you're going to have more sunshine temperatures. Pretty nice out there. Saturday heading to the 70s and 80s across the region. Sunday, you'll see more sunshine, but notice the temperatures get knocked down a couple of degrees. There will be some cooler air coming in, and I will tell you, the morning, as you head off to church in the south, the morning on Sunday will be very chilly. Northeast, we've got temperatures that will be chillier this weekend than they have been lately. Saturday's forecast will feature a couple of showers out here from parts of northern Maine up here, maybe the White and Green Mountains. If you're doing any hiking, we're going to be looking for some rain showers and cooler temperatures here too. Look at Syracuse and Pittsburgh, only in the 50s, and we'll be in the upper 60s in New York City. Sunday, we've got to look at some sunshine up and down the I-95 corridor, but much cooler temperatures, and then a few showers and even cooler temperatures across western New York, western Pennsylvania, the Midwest too. We've got those showers. Back to you guys.
Well, it has been another week of a lot of weather here on Wake Up with Al.
Let's take a look back at the week that was. We have a large area of severe weather that could be threatening millions of you.
The wind's just now starting to pick up.
There's a brand new tornado warning.
Possibility of some flash flooding. And look at that was right on top of me.
We are seeing a little evidence of some rotation right in here.
Get under a sturdy piece of furniture and take shelter.
Look at this.
Sound like I guess you'd say a freight train running in your backyard. There ain't no track back there for it to run on.
Through an EF2 tornado has been confirmed in Ashdown, Arkansas, tragically killing a Marine.
I tried everything I could to get it out, but there was a tree on top of it.
Just north of the Atlanta area were hit by an EF1 tornado.
Woken from a dead sleep to this horrible sound. Very, very scary.
And then hurricanes going on.
We have to talk about Hawaii again.
We think it will strengthen the entire island chain, potentially being threatened by this storm.
Gonzalo, strongest Atlantic hurricane in 3 years.
A Category 4 hurricane, now an 80% probability of hurricane force winds.
Boy, it's just really heartbreaking to think about what's going to happen. And that does it for a 10 a.m. edition of Wake Up With Al.
We're going to be back here Monday morning at 5:30 with all you need to know to get through the next work week.
Meantime, everybody's got you covered on Weather Center Live, the latest on Gonzalo and Anna, and everything you need to take you into the weekend.
All right, we'll see you back here Monday. Have a good weekend.
Currently in our area, 75 degrees under fair skies. Today, plentiful sunshine. High 82. Winds north at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, generally clear. Low 66. Winds north at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Gonzalo battering Bermuda. I'm Vivian Brown in the lab with hurricane specialist Carl Parker.
And the impacts are imminent. Landfall is now just a matter of hours away. We've got a live look at Bermuda here on your left. And we are talking about a significant storm moving in, and it's going to be peaking, we think, late this afternoon and into the evening hours.
And it's not just Bermuda seeing tropical action. We're also watching Hawaii. Bonnie Snyder picks things up in the studio.
That's right, Vivian. Hawaii bracing for its second named storm of the season, Ana. Preparations are underway there right now. And back in the lower 48, the best advice, bundle up. Minneapolis is a cool 58 degrees right now. From the Twin Cities to the Big Apple, we'll track the temperature dip. Here are the beginning impacts of a Category 4 hurricane. A live look at Bermuda from a home on Shelley Bay. Shelley Bay is on the north side of Bermuda in an inlet, so you can already see the winds are picking up there just looking at those palm trees. Thanks for watching. I'm Bonnie Schneider. There's no way around it. Gonzalo is a monster storm, and the time to prepare, well, that's come to an end. Stories around the tiny nation were packed last night. Residents and tourists grabbing whatever items left, just getting ready to hunker down. They're taking no chances ahead of Hurricane Gonzalo in Bermuda. This is the Causeway, a major bridge that connects the airport and the east and west sides of the island. Several people died on the bridge during Hurricane Fabian in 2003, so they're closing it for this storm just to be safe. And schools are closed across Bermuda, and shelters have opened up ahead of Gonzalo. Authorities have evacuated 2 hotels along the island's southern coast. Bermuda's premier says we'll come through this. Now let's go to Carl and Vivian in the lab.
Yeah, let's talk more about Gonzalo because it is getting closer and closer to the island of Bermuda.
And a very dangerous storm, and this is going to be a hard hit, we think, for Bermuda. You know, they do have experience with these storms, and they went through a terrible one 11 years ago, and here's some video of Hurricane Fabian, which caused a lot of damage, $300 million worth of damage. We saw waves of 20 to 30 feet on the south shore, and we'll show you that coming up here in a moment. This is the latest on the storm. 125-mile-per-hour storm. It's a Category 3 hurricane, and now moving north-northeast at 16 miles per hour.
And we do want to point out that this is the brand new advisory from the National Hurricane Center, and it did drop the winds a little bit, but still, we need to be on guard.
It's a very dangerous storm, and the core is really intact here. And in fact, I want to show you, okay, so let's go to the video of Fabian and show you what happened 11 years ago. And this storm, we think, could be very similar. It was similarly a strong storm, a major hurricane. And all right, well, we'll get back to that in a little bit. And here is a look at the forecast track and intensities from the Hurricane Center, looking for a Category 3 storm to most likely pass just to the west of Bermuda. That's the best guess at this point. It's still possible that it's a little farther to the east, but it really doesn't matter because you've got an area of strong winds that's going to overtake the island no matter what. We're not going to escape the impacts there on the island. Now, here's the core of the storm that is very much intact. I want you to notice that we've got a little less cloud here in the south side, and that's because drier air is intruding. We talked about the possibility of this last couple of days, and it really is now making some inroads into that system. And so that may weaken the storm just a little bit, and it can also decouple the storm. And what we mean by that is you see the lack of precipitation on the south side of the circulation where that dry air is. So you've got really intense wind up in the storm where the hurricane hunters are flying. The winds reported in this area on the order of 120 to 130 miles per hour. Yet when they estimated the surface winds with a device called the SFMR, they found winds of minimal hurricane force. So what you have here is because there is a lack of weather on the south side, it's all on the north and east side, you're not transferring all of that wind down to the surface. Whereas in this area where all the weather is, you're going to get a much more efficient transport of that very strong wind that's at flight level down to the ground. So this is where the action is for the most part, and as that comes in, it's going to be tropical storm force wind that's going to go on for a long time, and then it's going to continue to ramp up and become hurricane force wind. So here we are looking at the model at 2 p.m. There's that TS force wind starting to come in. Then look at this at 7 p.m. We are in the thick of it right here, right in there. We're talking about hurricane force wind, most likely gusting up to and over 100 miles per hour. That could go on for several hours, and then finally it begins to relent as we move into late tonight.
Okay, and with that in mind, of course, people have already evacuated the island. Many people have, but others are getting ready to ride out this hurricane. And Gonzalo, again, is getting closer and closer. So winds already starting to pick up. Storm chaser Mark Sedeth joins us live from Bermuda. Mark, how has the weather changed over the past couple of hours, and what's the mood like on the island?
Well, let me answer your last question first. The mood, people were jogging, trying to blow off some steam, release some stress. They were seemingly happy, you know, trying to have the best of spirits, I guess, before it really deteriorates later. As far as the weather, that is deteriorating. The winds are picking up. Whitecaps now forming on the Castle Bay area between Grotto Bay Resort and the airport. No rain just yet, but the winds are coming up to around the 30 to 35 mile an hour mark in gusts.
So you're at an area where you can actually see those whitecaps, and we are looking at pictures of the palm trees just swaying, so the winds are definitely picking up.
Yes, and the thing about this is with the hurricane getting as large as it has with the wind field and that very large eye, you know, even though it has weakened some, it means that Bermuda is going to be in hurricane force winds for a longer time. So it's a pick your poison kind of situation. Good news that it's weakened, but kind of bad news that the wind field has expanded as it has these last couple of days, and the Bermuda is going to be under the gun for quite a while.
All right, well, definitely you want to batten down the hatches, and we'll be talking with you, of course, within the next couple of hours as the system gets closer and closer. Talk about the eye of the storm. You know, it's quite peculiar, Carl, to see the island of Jamaica, but then the eye itself on the satellite picture looks like it's large larger than the island itself. So this is a huge system.
You know, it's interesting because Bermuda is a very small target, so it's hard to get the worst of a storm into that island, but I think that's what's going to happen tonight.
All right, definitely we're watching it for you closely. Okay, let's go back to you, Bonnie, in the studio.
Thanks, Vivian and Carl. Well, after years of quiet tropical seasons, Hawaii is now staring down a second storm this year. Next, the latest on the strength of the storm and what the islands are doing to get ready for it. And it's Friday. You know what that means. Another trip to small-town America.
Fatherhood. Lesson number 1.
Did you see the light?
Pregnant wives have late-night cravings.
The ice cream, please.
Lesson number 2. Make sure you get her ice cream in a cup with a lid.
And that's why you want accident forgiveness from Allstate. It keeps your rates from going up just because of an accident. Talk to your local Allstate agent today. Call 877-288-1100 now.
This is your 3 a.m. wake-up call. Time to eat, burp, change, walk, rock a little, walk some more, and repeat. Who has time for insurance?
An Allstate agent. They can do all the work for you, like saving you up to 25% on your home insurance when you add an auto policy. Talk to an Allstate agent today and relax. Or not. Plus, switch to Allstate today and you could save up to 10% more on your auto policy.
Just a few more ways the good hands are doing more than ever before.
Call 877-288-1100 now.
Tuesdays.
I bought 51% of this business. I now control you, and I can throw you out.
Marcus Lemonis does whatever it takes to fix a failing business.
I'm 100% in charge.
The Profit, all new Tuesdays at 10 Eastern on the fastest growing network in prime time.
What I say goes.
CNBC.
Currently in our area, 75 degrees under fair skies. Today, abundant sunshine. High 81. Winds north at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, generally clear. Low 66. Winds north at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Every Sunday, a new tale of weather legend. American Supernatural, Sunday nights at 10 on the Weather Channel.
Every time a bargain trash bag breaks, you throw your money away. Bargain bag users go through 60 more bags a year than Glad users. Glad, strength that saves.
This is the year to leave the ordinary behind and keep the promises you made to yourself. Take a leap of faith and have a little adventure. Stop dreaming and start doing. This is the year, and Alaska is the place. Begin your adventure at AlaskaBeyondYourDreams.com.
Sir, we're loaded and getting ready to go. We're going to need you on the runway.
Don't let a severe cold hold you back.
Sir?
Theraflu starts to get to work in your body in just 5 minutes. Theraflu breaks you free from your worst cold and flu symptoms. Theraflu, serious power.
Gonzalo battering Bermuda. The impacts are imminent. Landfall just a few hours away. On the left, a live look from Castle Harbor. On the right, the beast of the hurricane itself. Now, a Category 3 hurricane barreling towards the island. And here's some of the video we're seeing this afternoon as Gonzalo gets closer. You can see the waves starting to pick up in height as they crash the beaches. And this is just the beginning. In a matter of hours, a completely different scene as the monster hurricane slams the shores. The time to prepare quickly dwindling away as this storm is practically here. Now, last night, folks were gassing up and cleaning out the pumps, and we'll have an in-depth analysis of this hurricane from our experts that's coming up. And of course, if you need updates, if you're away from your television set, you can get those anytime by going to weather.com. But if this is not enough, we have Hawaii to tell you about, and Bonnie's tracking what's going on in the Pacific. Bonnie.
Vivian, the big story in Hawaii is Ana. It's the second named storm of the season to head towards the Big Island. So here's the latest. You can see winds 70 miles per hour. This is very close to being a hurricane, and it is forecast to be a hurricane sometime today. Notice the impressive convection. You can see the purples and the oranges. That indicates the higher cloud tops where we are getting rain and thunderstorms. So that's why there is a tropical storm watch in effect for the Big Island, and that's important to note because the storm will likely pass further to the west, but it'll come close enough that you will feel not only the strong winds but the battering waves. So that's important to know. A lot of people like to go surfing when these storms come by, but it is going to be a dangerous situation through the weekend as the storm sticks around. The tropical storm watch is in effect for the Big Island. That means between 24 and 36 hours we will feel those tropical storm force winds, but remember, we are going to see this storm strengthen. It's breaking it down city by city. Hilo, one of the wettest cities in the world, we're looking at more wet weather Friday night into Saturday. Certainly some very heavy drenching rain. Flooding is a concern. And for Honolulu, it'll take a little longer to approach you, but we're still looking at rain today, tonight. Conditions really will deteriorate as we go through the day, and notice the wind picking up on Saturday. So it is a dangerous situation. With Ana stirring up trouble for Hawaii, people in the islands have been doing what they can to protect themselves and their homes ahead of the storm. This morning's NBC's Hallie Jackson is following the story.
The governor has declared a state of emergency for Hawaii because even though Tropical Storm Ana is tracking further south than originally expected, there's still a concern about the impact from wind and especially rain, a concern about flash flooding, too. We're here on Waikoloa Beach, and high surf could be a potential on the Big Island and throughout the entire island chain. On the Big Island, public schools are closed today. Evacuation shelters are set to open, and people are really getting prepared. We saw one local store totally out of bottled water. Folks lining up to fill up those propane tanks just in case power goes out for an extended period of time. That is what folks here saw during Iselle just a couple of months ago. Power outages for days, if not more than a week for some people. And again, very rare to have two named storms threaten the Hawaiian Islands within such a short period of time. That's why people here say they are preparing for the worst, but they're hoping for the best. We'll have more as this storm develops, but for now, back to you.
Thanks so much, Hallie. People are preparing, and they're also preparing in Bermuda for Hurricane Gonzalo. You can see a live picture of Bermuda right now. Those winds are picking up, and this is only the beginning. Stay with the Weather Channel. We're going to be talking with someone who is in Bermuda right now as the brunt of this major hurricane bears down on this tiny island. Stay with the Weather Channel. You can see we're looking at a Category 3 Hurricane Gonzalo, and we'll have more on that in just a bit.
They say his magic erasers tackle so many messes that Mr. Clean once wrote a book about them. Not only do they clean everyday dirt, they clean a lot of unexpected stuff too, like scuffed up shoes, tough stuck-on sticker gunk, and lots more. In fact, his book got so full, he made a website instead. Share your magic eraser tips at mycleanbook.com.
Started my Camry. Drove to her wedding. Did not forever hold my peace.
The bold new Camry. One bold choice leads to another. Toyota, let's go places.
When he first joined the Army, I was very nervous.
We didn't know what they would have him doing. But Bobby always had a plan.
unmatched training and over 150 careers beyond the battlefield, there are over 150 surprising ways to become Army strong. Talk to your son or daughter about opportunities in the Army.
Progressive Insurance here. Ever since we launched Snapshot, my life has been positively great. What's Snapshot, you ask? Only a revolutionary tool that can save you big time. Just plug it in, and the better you drive, the more cash you'll stash. Switching to Progressive can already save ye $500. Snapshot could save ye even more. Meet maiden, bringeth to me thine spiciest wings of buffalo.
So, you're saying you'll give me my credit score for free? Right. Now you're going to ask for my credit card so you can charge me on the down low 2 weeks later. Look, Credit Karma.
Are you talking to websites again?
This website says free credit scores.
Oh, Credit Karma. Yeah, it's really free. Look, you don't even have to put in your credit card information.
What?
Credit Karma. Really free credit scores. Really free.
Credit Karma, I love you.
Honey, he's here.
Coming.
Not too late.
Okay. Love you guys.
Finally, someone who's good enough for her.
Families everywhere are feeling the love for their natural gas appliances. Find out why at naturalgaslove.com.
One car travels towards an intersection with wipers that streak and clog, while another travels towards the same intersection with wiper blades that don't let them see clearly. But between them, the Michelin Man with Michelin Stealth Wiper Blades, a revolution in wiper blade technology, combining SmartFlex construction for superior windshield contact with proven hybrid blade design for clog-free performance in rain, ice, and snow, helping you steer clear for the road ahead. Michelin Stealth Wiper Blades, a better way forward.
Payments and no interest for 12 months. So call 888-4CHAMPION today, because every home needs a champion.
Every Sunday, a new tale of weather legend. American Supernatural, Sunday nights at 10 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 76 degrees under fair skies. Today, abundant sunshine. High 81. Winds north at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, generally clear. Low 66. Winds north at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
This is a live look of the port of Bermuda as Hurricane Gonzalo moves closer. This is a powerful Category 3 hurricane. Bermuda hasn't seen anything like this since 2003 when Fabian hit. We're watching this storm very closely because conditions for Bermuda will deteriorate as we go through the day into the night tonight. A very dangerous situation. This storm just weakened to a Category 3, but it is by no means a weak storm. This is a powerful hurricane. And not only that, the movement is to the northeast at 16. We're expecting possibly a direct hit or at least an incredible impact to Bermuda later tonight and certainly into tomorrow. As we can see the latest coordinates of the storm, the movement, as I mentioned, north-northeast at 16, 150 miles southwest of Bermuda. Now, Bermuda definitely is bracing for this storm, and Vivian has more than that.
Yeah, because Bermuda is definitely boarding up ahead of this Category 3 storm with winds of 125 miles an hour. They are taking no chances. So joining us on the phone now is Jonathan Bell. He's the senior reporter for the Royal Gazette, a newspaper that covers the island. And you sent us these pictures that we're showing. They show authorities closing down the causeway ahead of the storm. Can you tell us a little bit about that, Jonathan?
That's right. They did that at about 11:15 Bermuda time, which would be 10:45 U.S. East Coast time. That's a precaution. I mean, the last time that we had a hurricane of this magnitude, there were some lives lost making that crossing, so they want to make sure that it didn't happen again. They would markedly more breezy here in the city of Hamilton. The harbor is just beginning to white cap, so we know it's on its way, although it is now a Category 3.
Well, when they made repairs to that causeway, was that just temporary repairing, or was it a permanent repair? I mean, was it rebuilt even better than before?
It was rebuilt much the same. It's an old structure. There are plans have been in place for a considerable amount of time to update it, but for now we continue with the old concrete and rubble structure that's been there for a long time. I mean, it is, I would imagine, stronger now than it was back then, but it's much the same as it was before.
Since you work for the newspaper in the area, are you covering it any differently than you did, say, Fabian back in 2003? Are you covering this hurricane a little differently?
Well, obviously social media are much more of an element this time around, but we're taking no chances. We do have photographers out there. Us reporters are sticking mainly inside at this point, but we will have pictures being sent in to us. And obviously we will be watching the causeway as best we can, but from a very safe distance.
All right, well, hunker down and be safe. And of course, we'll be looking for your pictures after the storm. Thanks very much. That is Jonathan Bell with the Royal Gazette, the newspaper that covers the Bermuda area. Back to you, Bonnie.
Thanks, Vivian. In today's View from Above, you've got a pretty good chance to see a shooting star if you're gazing at the night skies this coming week. Viewing for the Orionid meteor shower should be exceptional because there's a new moon. Kelly Beatty from Sky and Telescope magazine has more.
Just about everybody knows about Halley's Comet, that famous visitor from the edge of the solar system that comes every 76 years. But did you know that you can see little bits of Halley's Comet this month? Every mid-October, we cross the orbit of Halley's Comet, and when that happens, little bits of it that has been shed long ago come flying into our atmosphere at 41 miles per second. Those create meteors or shooting stars. Now, they can appear anywhere, but they seem to radiate from a point near the constellation Orion, near the star Betelgeuse, which marks his shoulder. That's why we call this the Orionid meteor shower. You might see 5 or 10 meteors per hour from a good dark spot. So get out those early autumn clothes and lie back and enjoy the crisp morning air, and you too can see bits of Halley's Comet flying overhead. Check out skyandtelescope.com if you want more information.
Well, that sounds great, but what's the weather so you can see the shooting stars? The peak of this will be on Tuesday the 21st. Unfortunately, there's a nor'easter looming in the northeast all the way from the mid-Atlantic to New England, so that may hinder your view, but the rest of the country, with some exceptions, South Florida, the Southwest, look very good. You should be able to catch some great shooting stars a little bit before or even after this date.
Well, definitely won't be able to catch Orion in the Bermuda area as the clouds will definitely build in. Already the winds are picking up. Everyone is hunkering down in Bermuda as this Category 3 hurricane approaches the island. Of course, we're watching it as it gets closer, so keep it tuned right here.
View from Above, brought to you by Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex. Explore more at tourksc.com.
What does a 37 million horsepower launch feel like?
Experience it for yourself. Only at Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex. Meet real astronauts, see Space Shuttle Atlantis, and experience firsthand the future of America's space exploration.
This is Charlie. His long day of doing it himself starts with back pain and a choice.
Take 4 Advil in a day, or just 2 Aleve for all-day relief.
Honey, you did it.
Need new tires?
Right now at Pep Boys, when you buy 3 select tires, you get the 4th tire free, instantly. Plus, get up to $80 off select Cooper and Hankook tires. Trust the boys to get you there.
A cat's life can be pretty boring. Why it's so boring, it reduces them to snoring. Until now, introducing the Smarty Cat Feather Whirl, the new way for your cat to play. Just push the button and the wand whirls and swirls. Your cat will pounce like it's catching a mouse right there in the middle of your house. Smarty Cat's Feather Whirl movement never repeats itself, so your cat won't get bored. You'll laugh hysterically as your cat tries to catch his prey. Every time they try, it moves away. The Smarty Cat Feather Whirl is made of tough but durable BHA-free plastic, so it won't break, and it's tested to be safe for your kitty to grab, chew, pull, or bite. There's no end to the fun in sight. Young cats and old cats delight when Smarty Cat's Feather Whirl is in sight. As soon as they see the patented whirling wand, it's an on switch for fun. Smarty Cat's Feather Whirl comes with a 90-day won't-break warranty, so no matter how much your cat plays, Feather Whirl will continue to sway and sway. So your cat never gets bored, get these additional wands: the Smarty Cat Ball Boa, Ribbon Renegade, and the Sweet Flyer. Or perhaps the Smarty Cat Skitter Critters and Bouncy Mouse, to ensure your cat always has something new to claw. Ha! See? They're no match for your cagey cat. Take that, my little snack. So put an end to catatonic behavior and make Feather Whirl your cat's savior. Get a Smarty Cat Feather Whirl for your cat today. The Smarty Cat Feather Whirl comes complete with a programmed rotating base, whisper quiet motor, Feather Whirl attachment, and bonus batteries. But wait, there's more! So your Feather Whirl will really score. Order right now and you'll get a bonus bag of certified organic catnip that will make your cat's experience incredibly great. And this pack of Smarty Cat toys. This exclusive TV-only offer is not available in stores, and you must call or go to featherworld.com. That's featherworld.com. Order now.
This giant TV offer is only available at featherworld.com or by calling the number on your screen. This offer is not available in stores. Order now.